Okay, a bit of a sort of look at the landscape. So fairly kind of typical of the area of scrub around here. So left of the screen there we have some Dorianthus excelsior, Gamia lily. There's a few different species of tree. There's even a few G-bung in there. But we come here, we've got a lot of this guy, alright? Okay, so this is the spotted gum, or Corymbia maculata. And this is a very prevalent tree the east coast of Australia. A couple of 100 miles either side of Sydney you will find this. As far as Queensland, as I've been told. Usually along the coast. Grows in a few other areas of the world commercially, not as a native. Places like South Africa. It's a very fast growing tree. Alright, so I'm just going to use, I don't have a tripod, so I'm just going to use this bit of a tree as a makeshift tripod. Alright, so when we think of gum trees, generally people use the word eucalypt, alright, and that's a little bit incorrect, alright. Not all gum trees are eucalypts, alright. They're usually one of three different things. They're either an angophora, there's a corymbim, or they actually are a eucalypt, alright. But there's distinctive, each one of those is a distinctive genus, right? And the genus Corymbim is a relatively recent one, okay? It was only about 1995 that scientists and botanists looked at it and they looked at the DNA and they said there's enough differences in this tree to separate it from being a eucalypt, alright? So it's its own distinct genus, its own distinct category. If you want to be proper and scientific and correct, it's not a eucalypt, it's a corymbim, alright? So let's have a look at it. Pick up the camera. Okay, so like I say, very prevalent in this area and will grow in almost any soil. Alright, it doesn't need any particular kind of soil. It seems to exist in almost anything. Alright, and quite often you will find it in reverse slopes like this. Alright, and it can get some areas you'll count every 1 in 5 trees will be a spotted gum. Alright, a little bit of bush chocolate down there. Alright, kangaroo. So one of the features that you find about the Corymbia maculata or the spotted gum is quite often when you see them, they're very, very healthy species, alright? It's rare that you see them and they've been attacked by kind of any insect life like borers or things like termites, okay? And one of the natural features of the tree is that it produces a natural chemical, okay, which is kind of a natural repellent for insects, alright? So usually, unlike a lot of Australian trees that you find, you know, there's a lot of insect life in them, these ones, you know, they never seem to, you know, sort of happen. They always seem very healthy, and for the most part, most insects seem to leave them alone, alright? Obviously, there's going to be exceptions to the rule. Usually when you see one and it's distressed and it's dying, it's normally because another tree has fallen on it, okay? Alright, in my experience anyway. Okay, so if we look at the bark, now obviously the name spotted gum, it gets its name for this very distinctive spotted, kind of almost like abstract art or something, bark, alright? And that's really down to how the tree grows, okay? So the tree grows in a kind of spiral pattern like this. If you imagine going round and round like this in a spiral, okay? And the darker areas of the bark, okay, that's actually areas of lesser growth for the tree, okay? So it's kind of very interesting. How this tree traditionally was used by early Europeans is, you know, obviously they came here approximately 200 years ago and all the plant life and animal life was quite foreign to them, so they had to do a lot of experimentation. And obviously at that time period people were still using traditional tools like, you know, axes and mallets and mauls and that kind of stuff, and these tools needed to be rehandled, okay? And it was a long way to go and get some ash or some hickory, alright? None of those species of trees occur naturally in Australia, okay? And this tree, the spotted gum, is the best Australian tree for, you know, tool handles, high impact tool handles, sledgehammers, species, okay? And there's about 5 different trees in the Corymbia genus. We just take this down a little bit. This is just a sapling, so I can just bend it slightly without causing any damage. Just have a look at the leaf there, you know, fairly typical, what you would call gum leaf. Alright, and we have a little gall waft, a little bit of damage to the tree there. So there you go, absolutely brilliant, amazing Australian tree, Corymbia maculata or spotted gum.